Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy review. And this time we're taking a look at the Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives Ultimate 7-inch figure. And this is from NECA for 2015. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the packaging. So taking a look at the packaging, so obviously this, the front packaging is the poster from Jason Lives from Friday the 13th Part 6, and it looks amazing. This packaging is, I love this stuff, this type of packaging, and it always makes you sad if I open this stuff up because it's definitely like a collectible style packaging. So, you got the front, it looks like this, you got the sides, each side, it says Friday the 13th, Jason Lives, almost looks like a VHS tape in all honesty from back in the day, Friday the 13th Part 6. And then it says Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. As a child, Tommy Jarvis did what many others did, died trying to do. He killed Jason Voorhees, the mass murderer who terrorized the residents of Crystal Lake. Years later, tormented by the fear that maybe Jason isn't really dead, Tommy and a friend make a fateful trip to Jason's grave. And it shows a nice picture of Jason Voorhees in the figure and some of the other features, like gravestone and his mask off. But what's really cool about this is it's got a little Velcro clip right here that you open up, and you can actually open it up and you have a really cool picture of Jason Voorhees right here, and you can see the figure in all its glory. So I mean, this would be something really cool to display like this, but obviously I'm definitely going to open this guy up. But you can see, he's unmasked, he's got his mask here, he's got the machete, the knife, he's got a different secondary hand, he's got the fence post, he's got his gravestone. I mean, everything just looks amazing on this figure. This is one of the figures I really wanted to get for a while, and the prices ballooned up because, once you couldn't buy them in stores because this came out in 2015. And luckily, it seems, I guess NECA had a backstock of stuff and they kind of flooded the market again on some of these figures. So you can get them back at the regular price right around like $25 to $35 depending. They're starting to go back up, but you can find them on like Amazon and stuff, which is where I got this guy. One of the ones I've always wanted to get. But I mean, everything looks great. I mean, like I said, this figure is amazing. This is my favorite version of Jason. I love the Part 6 Jason. It's my favorite Friday the 13th movie. But most importantly is, let's get this opened up. Alright, so taking a look at the NECA Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason from Jason Lives. This thing looks stunning. If you've ever seen a NECA toy, you know the quality you're getting in the figure, and this is no exception. So, starting off, this guy is the 7-inch Jason, and you can see it's 7 inches right here. That's pretty much spot on for what he should be. Obviously, you can make him a little bit taller or shorter depending on how you pose him, but detailing, the mask comes off and the sculpting in his head, which I'll go into the detail with all this stuff, but you see the detailing in his shirt. He's got the sheath that you can put his machete in. He's got the throwing knives. He's got his buck knife that can come out. Detailing in his pants and the blood and the rips. I mean, everything is just top notch on this figure. I love NECA. Now, he does come with accessories, so he obviously has the buck knife. He also has the machete. He comes with the Jason Voorhees tombstone. He comes with his spear from the beginning of the movie, which is the actual weapon they do use in the Friday the 13th video game currently for this figure, or sorry, for the character in the video game, but they are going to be able to switch that soon. You can play with other weapons. And then he does come with another hand. This is more suited, more of a circular hole in it, suited for this hand to actually be able to hold this weapon, which you actually take apart to make it easier to have the character hold. Now, you can still, with this machete hand, which is a little bit wider, you can still use that for this, but they give you an option of changing the hand if you wanted to do that, which is really cool. For articulation, he does a pretty good articulation. He's got a ball joint at the head. He rotates at the shoulders and moves in and out, kind of like a ball joint. His elbow does bend here and twist at the elbow. He does have wrist rotation and pivot at his wrists on both arms. He has pretty much like a ball joint type pivot at his waist. His legs move and rotate at the little section right here. His knees do bend and pivot at the knee, and his foot does go side to side and have a little bit of ankle pivot. So I mean, this thing overall has incredible articulation for a figure. And NECA, that's just the way NECA is. You can also take his machete out and you can put it in his sheath, which is a pretty cool feature. That's one of the few Jasons that actually had a sheath. I don't think any of the other ones had an actual physical sheath other than like the remake. And then we also have the buck knife, which can go in and out right here, which is really, really cool. And I think that's a really cool feature, which we'll show that in a little bit. But let's take a closer look at this guy. So here we have his mask. This, like I said, is my favorite version of Jason. I love this mask, and it just looks amazing. You can kind of see as we turn, you can see the detailing on his head and the straps on this thing. It just looks amazing, and you can absolutely pull this guy off to reveal his really nasty face, which they only showed for like a second or two, kind of in the rain with it coming off and washing off the maggots. But this thing looks amazing. Look, there's the bone protruding. I mean, everything on this guy looks absolutely stunning. Like I said, I love these figures. Now, they do have blacked out eyes on the mask, which looks really cool. Going down to the detail of his chest, you can see he's got those bullet holes on him. He does not have the paintball on there, which happens later in the movie, but, what are you going to do? They could make multiple versions of this character. Same thing with damage throughout the movie. But, I mean, he's got the blood on his shirt. You can see the throwing knives there. Here's his machete in the sheath. I mean, you can see his gloves. This is this little hand here that helps hold that staff. And then if we go over here, we do have that really cool buck knife, and it does take a second to get it out. But there's that crazy looking buck knife that you can put in his hand, which looks absolutely amazing. Even going on in the back, you can see the little rivets in the belt and everything, even blood kind of going down by his butt. I mean, this thing is absolutely just stunning as we look at this. I mean, absolute amazing detail in the cloth and the sculpting of this character. Here you can see the detailing in his legs, so you can see the blood, you can see a little bit of a rip in the pants. I mean, everything on this thing looks stunning, down to the rips by his boots and his muddy, dirty boots. I mean, they just did this, figure character absolute justice. I mean, I think NECA did a top-notch job, and they always pretty much have with most of their figures, hit or miss on some of them, but this is, not one of those exceptions. This is a top-notch figure. Here we have that tombstone that says Jason Voorhees, got the crack in it. I mean, everything just looks great, and it's a solid piece. I mean, there's a crack on the back, a nice, solid, pretty hefty piece, and this is, a nice addition if you're going to display this figure, which is basically what I'm going to do. I mean, like I said, this is my favorite Jason. This is going to go in my little display area, some of my favorite things from my childhood. I mean, this thing just looks stunning. And here we have his iconic machete. And it looks stunning. Like I said, it looks good. The way they kind of painted it with a little bit of a metallic, shiny paint looks really, really nice. I mean, most people are going to display this figure with the machete or with the staff, because the staff was kind of, an iconic weapon from the beginning of the movie. But I think overall, the machete looks amazing. It's, you know, they did a great job with all these different weapons that come with him. One of the biggest problems with any of the accessories is probably his staff, which is, you know, it's done really well. It looks beautiful the way they painted it. Everything looks amazing. But it's you got to put it in two parts to get it to get in his hands, because he's got two different versions of his hands. He's got one hand that will hold the machete better, and then the other hand, you know, fits the knife and the pole. You can put in the machete hand, which has a little bit of a bigger opening, you can put the knife in there and it fits pretty tight. But there's pole, and you probably put the pole through this one as well, but it looks better going through this one. They're really tight, and you basically get to separate it right here at the center and then slide it through his hands. And it is a very, very tight fit, and you got to get it just about right with articulation you want to get it. But I mean, you know, obviously it's an iconic weapon in the movie. You know, even the new Friday the 13th video game has this as this Jason's weapon. And you know, it's cool looking. I mean, you can definitely do some cool poses. You kind of have him like he's striking the ground, which is kind of the way I have him here. I mean, and it's a really nice touch. It's just like I said, to switch it out, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, maybe over time the hands will get a little bit looser, but you're worried with this type of stuff and the little peg here that if you slide it through the hand wrong, you can break it. And just for size comparison, here we have the NECA Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives Jason next to a 3 3/4 inch Last Jedi Luke Skywalker figure. Now obviously the Jason is 7 inches, he towers over it, but that just kind of gives you a little bit of perspective to the size of the figure. I mean, the thing looks amazing, has amazing articulation, you know, detail, accessories, everything is just amazing on this figure. NECA is top notch. I love their figures. They are doing, I think, Pennywise figure from both the Tim Curry version and the Bill Skarsgård version, which, you know, I'll be the first to buy that stuff. As well as they do have other Jasons. I know they currently have a Part 2 out, and then they also have a 3 and a 4, which have been out for a while. And they do different sizes. They do, I think, like a 12-inch molded and cloth clothes version of some of these Jasons. And like I said, if you're a big fan of the movies, I mean, this is a top-notch figure. I mean, even the actual box is like the actual VHS tape. I mean, it's got that VHS tape look to it of the movie and the movie poster. I mean, a lot of people are going to probably, you know, leave it in the package because it has that window, but some people are going to display it like I am. I mean, it's just an amazing figure. Like I said, this is my favorite Jason Voorhees, you know, version, and I'm really happy to have this and display this. Like I said, I can't recommend this enough if you're a Friday the 13th fan like I am. Once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I will see you guys next time.